Okay, so I'm on a roll today of making videos. You guys know I'm always opening up the DNA. You hear how the root chakra is still resonating, grounding us. There's little vibration. And I'm not exactly sure how this quality is because I don't have my microphone hooked up. But regardless of that, you got to have some balance and some grounding when you start receiving information, right? We got to open up our mind in order to make sure that the information is going to resonate with us. So right now I'm going to do a little numerology lesson for you guys. Okay, you got to watch my other videos about how to find numbers and things of that nature. I've made them so they're out there. Watch them. They are helpful. Let's answer a couple of questions. Let's start this series, and we're going to go through this series through 2024. I was talking with a couple people, and I said to them, hey, I can evaluate your relationships. And what I have found after studying numerology for 20 years, 2 decades because it's more than 20 years, but it's not quite 3 decades, okay? So after studying numerology for this period of time, in addition to being a spiritual practitioner and all the other gifts that I have about people and things of that nature, there are some things that I have found to be important when you are actually trying to be with someone and determining the longevity of a relationship, because you can get with a person but that relationship may not have staying power. So what I'm going to do is make a series of videos, and this one is just an introduction to those series of videos. And in the series of videos, I'm going to go through attitude numbers and compatibilities, right? So the attitude number is found by taking your birth month and your birthday, adding those together to get down to a cardinal number. Then you compare your attitude number with your partner's attitude number, and those are the numbers I'm going to be going over. So if I say you have an attitude of 1, and that was a person who's born on, let's see, January 9th, right? That person's going to have an attitude of 1 because 1 plus 9 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. So that person's attitude is 1. Let's just say their partner is born January 10th. January 10th is 1 plus 10 is 11, which 1 plus 1 is 2. Now, I'm going to take and say that attitude is 11 too, because 11 is a master number and there has some higher frequencies associated with the 11 than with just a regular 2. But overall, when I evaluate them, I'm going to evaluate the 1 energy and the 11-2 energy. And that's going to tell me a lot about their ability to be in partnership. Now, when I do a numerology report, I tell you I have seven numbers that I look at in order to determine relationships that are going to have the best chance of surviving. Understand that you can survive, meaning be in a relationship with anyone out there, right? Doesn't mean that it's not going to be a toxic relationship. So this is for people who would like to not exist in toxic relationships. Okay? So that's what this series is going to be, and I do plan on going through pretty much all of the numbers. And when your combination comes up, you can evaluate it. Understand that this is a key. It is not the only key, but it is a key in understanding why there's friction in your relationship and why there's times when it doesn't work. And let me say that as you go through life, because I believe the entire universe is set up on numbers. I believe that. You can't change my mind about that. Because if you think about a person or entity that creates a universe, they have to have a way for it to work. When you build a car in a certain way for it to work. And all the cars have a certain way that they work, even if there's a little bit of differences in the body and things of that nature. I believe that way is numerology, the energy of the numbers in the universe and the ocean, the moon, everything, animals, the cells, everything is quantified. Everything has a number associated with it. And everything, I mean, your days are numbered, right? So everything is quantified. And I believe that those quantities, when they get together, match or repel each other. Okay? So as those entities are going through life, their years are starting to change. And as the years change, they're experiencing a new energy. So that there's a lot of other numbers associated with this. So if a person's having a turbulent year because things are turned all upside down in their life, and you're trying to be in a relationship with them and you're not having a turbulent year, you're going to think something's wrong with them related to you. But the reality is that this is a year that they have to focus on the internal turbulence or whatever turbulence is going on. If you are aware of the turbulence that they have and you desire to be a good partner, you can work through that year with them, knowing that they're going to go into another cycle where they don't have that turbulence, right? And this is also why some of you guys incorrectly identify your partner as bipolar, because they're like, oh, well, they were fine last year and they changed this year. Well, they're in a new energy cycle this year. And because they're in this new energy cycle, they're experiencing some things. And the cycle they're in might not line up with the cycle that you're in. And sometimes that cycle is never going to line up. And other times it's going to be good. And then you have 1 or 2 years where it's not. And then you got to work hard through those 2 years. That's why partnerships are work. They're not 100% smooth. Even if you love them, you still have those times where the energies are off. And that changes month to month, day to day. So you have to be aware of that so that you can extend grace to the person and to yourself and work through those things. Now, we're talking about energy. We're not talking about physical things of people being toxic with abuse of any nature. We're not talking that. We're talking about energies. Okay? So that's what these series of videos will be about. You can follow. You can ask your questions specifically about your combination and I can go over it. But that's why you got to follow the videos, because I'm not going to spend a lot of time teaching you individually when I put these videos out here. Listen to the video, okay? For those of you who want to learn about numerology, there's a plethora of books out there. I have so many books, and I've had books for years, and they say different things. There's different thoughts, right? You have to find what works and resonates for you. Right? There's a Western thought, there's an Eastern thought, there's so many different ways that you can do numerology. Okay? The energy is what's important. And I'm going to give you everything that I give you based on my spiritual practices, what I have learned in my 4 decades of being a spiritual practitioner. All right? Okay. Hope you find the videos helpful. Remember to ask questions. Stay tuned. Be well.